So hey guys, how are you all? Welcome to So we are back with a brand new movie on What If Naruto Returned was from the digital world, but before we start, be sure to subscribe to our channel and like this video. Now let's begin the story. Naruto was just thrown off the cliff by Jiraiya the Toad Sage after asking him to teach him something for the fight against Neji Hyuga in a month's time. But the pervert just kept on dodging Naruto like he was a plague until Naruto was able to wear him down. Jiraiya had Naruto sign the Toad Summon contract and tried to force Naruto to summon Gamabunta, the boss of the Toads. However, the contract that Naruto signed was a fake. Jiraiya was never going to let Naruto have access to the Toads in any shape or form. For what reason? That is unknown at this time. As Naruto continues to fall, Jiraiya looks down and smirks. Finally. The damn pest is gone. Now I can have Minato and Kushina come back to Konoha. Sure, they will be sad and all when they find out that Naruto is gone, but they will get over it in time. Well, better go and get them, said Jiraiya as he went to go and bring Minato and Kushina back to Konoha. Naruto looks up and sees Jiraiya no longer on the cliff and grits his teeth in anger. He goes through the hand signs one last time and in a flash of white light, Naruto disappears before he hits the ground. Location unknown. Naruto lays on his back in pain. He groans and opens his eyes to see the sky above him. He then gets up and holds his head. Groan, oh my aching head. I feel like I was thrown off a cliff, said Naruto. He then remembers what happened. Oh, wait. That is what happened. I swear when I find Jiraiya I don't care if he is a damn Sannin. I am going to prank him so hard he ends up in the damn loony bin, he yelled. Naruto then gets up off the ground and looks around. He then notices that he is not in Konoha anymore. Where the hell am I? Asked Naruto. He then feels something in his pocket. Naruto takes out a strange object that he has never seen before. Digivice burst from Data Squad, the device is orange and green. What is this? I have never seen something like this before. Naruto then heard movement nearby. He looks over and sees a strange creature. The creature has grey skin on its underbelly with black scales on its back and green eyes. It has a single horn on the tip of its nose and has sharp teeth. What the hell is that? Yelled Naruto. The creature then notices Naruto and growls at him. The beast then charges at Naruto in an attempt to kill him. Oh shit. Naruto then begins to run away from the beast. Naruto then tries to use the shadow clone technique but is unable to. What? Why can't I use my clones? Damn it. I will need to try something else. Naruto then tries to run up a tree but that too fails. Naruto then looks back and sees that the beast is still chasing him down. Naruto then picks up a rock and throws it at the beast's eyes in a hope to blind it for a moment. The rock hits the beast's eye but it only enrages the beast. Then it did something that threw Naruto for a loop. The beast spoke. Damn punk. You'll pay for that. Volcano strike. Yelled the beast. A blast of fire erupts from its mouth and heads straight at Naruto. Holy shit. How did it do that? Damn it, I got to get away from this thing. But how? Said Naruto. Naruto then dodges the fire blast and heads into a nearby cave to try to hide from the beast. The beast is too big to fit and Naruto was able to go down a few turns so the beast's fire was unable to reach him. Puff puff, holy shit. That was nuts. What was that monster? I have never seen something like that before in my life. Of course, that goes without saying. I do wonder where I am, thou, said Naruto. Naruto then hears a beeping sound. Naruto looks around for the sound when he realizes that it was coming from his pocket. Naruto takes out the device that he found earlier as it continues to beep like crazy. But before Naruto could wonder why it was acting like that, the device began to speak. I know that you have questions, but please listen to me. This world that you are in is called the digital world. And it is in great peril. There are dark forces that wish to take over this world and then your world as well. Whatever powers you had in your world do not work here. But all is not lost. You now have the power to fuse with the energy of the beings that live in this world, the Digimon, thanks to the Digivice in your hands. In time you will gain new powers and forms. Please, I beg of you, help our worlds from this darkness, said the Digivice. Naruto sits on a rock in shock. This device just told Naruto to help save this world. Naruto looks down at the ground in shock. A part of Naruto is angered that he was dragged from his world, but on the other hand if he wasn't, he probably would be a bloody smear on the ground in his world right now. Naruto was a little worried about not being able to use his ninjutsu in this world, but since he didn't know much, it really didn't affect him too much. Naruto then felt the cave shake. Damn. That beast-air Digimon must really want me dead. I can tell that there is no other way out of this cave. If that is the case, then I have to fight my way out, said Naruto with determination in his voice. Naruto then runs toward the cave entrance and sees the Digimon trying to get into the cave. The Digimon then notices Naruto and growls at him. "Finally, are you willing to fight me, you punk? Well, prepare to get roasted," said the Digimon. It fires another blast of fire at Naruto. For Naruto, time seemed to slow down. He then felt something in him scream at him to fight. And so, he does. He takes the Digivice and he then activates it and screams out. "Execute. Meruem fusion," yelled out Naruto. Naruto's body erupts in fire. The fire consumes him completely. The fire that consumed Naruto stops the blast of fire from the Dino Digimon. After a moment, the fire surrounding Naruto dies down to show that he now has a fire-like body with his fists of flame. Naruto looks at himself and smirks at his power. When he opens his mouth, there are strings on his lips. Naruto then looks at the Dino and grins as the Dino backs up from the heat. He brings up his hands and points them at the Digimon. "Let's see how you like to get roasted," said Meruem Naruto. Fireball. From his fists come out large fireballs and the roar at the Dino Digimon. The Digimon was able to block some of the hits but not all of them. Both combatants charge at one another to try to finish the other off. However, Meruem Naruto was able to slide to the Dino Digimon's side and was able to counterattack the Dino. Blazing fists. The fists went right into the Digimon's hide and then right through it. The Digimon began to pixelate and then began to fall to pieces. Naruto then defused and his Digivice then began to suck in the Dino's data. Absorption complete. Monochrome data at the ready. Naruto sighs in relief that the fight was over. Naruto then smirked. "I would love to see the team do that. Or maybe even Kakashi, since both rely only on the Sharingan that they both have." Naruto then began to walk around to find out more about the world he was in. A few hours later, Naruto was still looking for anything that could help him when he heard a loud scream. He ran towards it and found two girls around his age running away from another Dino-looking Digimon. Unlike Monochrome, this one walks on two legs and has orange skin with blue stripes on its back, along with a brown skull-like helmet. The two girls had been running for a while now, trying to outrun the Dino trying to eat them. The lead girl has black straight hair that reaches her lower back and has red eyes. She wears a school outfit with a brown skirt with a blue blazer and a red tie. She also has a red scarf around her neck. She also has a great figure for her age with low D-cup breasts. The other girl looks just like the first girl but has white hair and gold eyes. Like the other girl, she wears the same clothes and has a gold scarf around her neck. Like the first girl, this girl also has a great figure with high C-cup breasts. They are holding each other's hands to keep together as the Dino fires blasts at them. "Come on, Hikari. We got to get out of here," yelled the black-haired girl. "I know, Yami. But this Dino is catching up," yelled the white-haired girl. The Dino fired out another of its attacks on the girls. Mega Flame. The girls were launched off the ground and into the air. When they landed, they then noticed that the Dino was right next to them. Both girls begin to shake in fear as the Dino begins to raise its foot to crush them. They hold onto each other so that they would be together in death. But then something happens that gives them both hope. Execute. Monochrome infusion. Naruto tackles the Dino in the side, forcing it away from the girls. When the two girls look, they see that their saver has gray and black scales on its body, with what looks like some kind of blade in his right hand that looks like a horn of some kind. "Back off. I won't let you kill these girls," said Monochrome Naruto. The Dino gets up off the ground and growls at Naruto. "I don't know what the hell you are, but back off. Those pests entered my territory without my permission and they need to pay for it." "They didn't know. So, let them go and we will leave your territory in peace," said Naruto. The girls were surprised that this being was trying to help them. "Hey Yami. Why is this guy trying to help us?" asked Hikari. "I don't know, Hikari. But at the first chance we should get away from here," said Yami. "And leave him behind. But that doesn't seem right after he helps us," said Hikari. "I know that it doesn't, but we don't know anything about him. We should leave for now and try to find a way home," said Yami. But before the two girls could escape, they were stopped when the Dino spoke up again. "No deal. No one enters my territory and lives. Now die, you damn trespasser." Mega Flame. Naruto dodges the fire and then charges forward at the Dino. He uses the horn blade to cut through the fire and goes for the Dino's throat. Tomahawk Slash. The attack connects with the Digimon's throat and it rips into it. Like Monochrome, the Dino begins to pixelate and then is absorbed into Naruto's Digivice after he defuses with Monochrome. Absorption complete. Greymon data at the ready. Naruto sighs in relief at that. He then looks over at the girls and see that they are okay. Naruto then walks over to them and speaks with them. "Are you two okay?" Naruto asks. The girls both blush at how handsome Naruto looks, but the black-haired girl recovers first and speaks up. "Yes, me and my sister are okay. Thank you for saving us," said Yami. Naruto smiles and both girls blush once again. "No problem. I am a ninja after all. Helping people is what I do." The girls giggle at that but are thankful that he helped them. So, are you really a ninja? Asked Hikari. Yep. I am just a genin right now, but in time I plan to be the best ninja ever. Believe it. Said Naruto. Hikari has stars in her eyes while Yami rolls hers but has a smile on her face at the boy's determination. So, can you show us some of your ninja skills? Asked Yami. Oh, my name is Yami Tendu and this is my twin sister Hikari Tendu. Nice to meet you Mr. Ninja sir. Said a happy Hikari. Naruto smiles at the sisters. And it is nice to meet the two of you as well. My name is Naruto Uzumaki of Konoha. And unfortunately, I can't show you my ninja skills due to that fact that for some reason I can't use them here in this world. It's like my chakra was taken from me. I can't even feel the Kyuubi in me anymore. It's like it is no longer inside of me. Thought Naruto. Oh. I was hoping to see some cool ninja moves. Whined Hikari as she goes through some fake karate chopping moves. Tuckle, sorry Hikari. But until we leave, I can't show you my ninja skills. Said Naruto. Speaking of, do you know how to get home? Asked Yami. No. All I know is that my Digivice asked me to save our world from a darkness here in the digital world that threatens both here and our home. Said Naruto. Digivice? Oh, you mean that device that you are holding? Said Yami as she points to Naruto's Digivice. Yeah. This allows me to fuse with Digimon. Right now, I have 3 in here. The Monochroman that I just used, the Greymon that I just absorbed and finally Meruman that was already in the device in the beginning. Explained Naruto. At that moment Naruto's Digivice begins to glow. It then sends out 2 lights at Yami and Hikari. When the light dies down, they both have a Digivice in their hands. Yami's is black and red in color, while Hikari's has a white and gold color. Both sisters are shocked to see this. It was after this moment that things changed for the 3 as they go on their journey to find a way home. 2 digital years later. Infinity Cannon. Shouted Millennium. He fired his cannons at the being that was once 3 until they became 1 to increase their strength to stop him. You pathetic humans will not stop me. I will control your world in the end. And turn all of humanity into my slaves. Yelled Millennium. We don't think so. Said the white Digimon. This Digimon looks like a knight of old with a wolf's head on its right hand with a cannon in its mouth and a dragon head on the left hand with a sword coming out of its mouth. On its back are pure white angel wings coming out of its back. This is the Royal Knight Digimon Omegamon Merciful Mode. Lapide's Cannon. From the wolf cannon comes a laser beam that is at the temperature of absolute zero. The beam hits Millennium in the cannons and his right shoulder. He roars in pain and rage. Millennium tries to swipe at Omegamon but is unable to hit them. Omegamon then readies his blade arm. Fearsome blade. Shouted Omegamon. They move in and slashed at Millennium, cutting his left arm off. Millennium pants in pain and anger. He looks up at those that defy him. Damn you. If you think that by killing me will stop all of the darkness then you are all fools. There will always be darkness. Always. And where there is darkness then there will also be light. Said Omegamon. They raise their weapons and rush forward and plung into Millennium's chest. The resulting energy wave destroyed him. Omegamon then absorbed the data of Millennium. Omegamon then floats down to the ground and then glows brightly and diffuses into 3 beings. Naruto, Yami and Hikari all stand tall and then fall to the ground in exhaustion. As the 3 teens sit on the ground their Digivices go off. Absorption complete. Millennium and data at the ready. Warning. Needs 3 Digivices to use properly. Naruto, Yami and Hikari sit on the ground and then look at each other. They then begin to laugh. After a few minutes of laughter they begin to calm down. We did it. We saved the digital world. Said Naruto. But we did. And it only took us 2 years to do it. Said Yami sarcastically. Yami, please no sarcasm. I mean we just saved our world. This is a great day. Said a happy Hikari. Tuckle, I know Hikari, but this is also the day that we all head back home. Said Yami. Both sisters become sad at that. Naruto gets up and goes over to the sisters and bring them both into a hug. Both sisters smile and return the hug. No matter the distance we will meet again. I promise. Said Naruto. The girls smile at that. No matter what. We will be in each other's heart. Said Hikari. And when you get back to Konoha you need to talk with those girls that love you. Said Yami with a smirk on her face. Naruto rolls his eyes at that but smiles at her. I know Yami. I just cannot believe that I never noticed their feelings. But then again with how I was raised it's understandable why I never noticed them. Yes, so when you get to Konoha go and win their hearts. Said Hikari with a smile on her face. Are you girls okay with that? I mean the 3 of us are dating. Said Naruto. Naruto. Said Yami as she placed a hand on Naruto's cheek. We are fine with it. Hikari and I are okay with sharing you. She assured Naruto. Naruto looks over at Hikari and she nods her head at him. Naruto smiles at the sisters. I have the best girlfriends in any world. said Naruto. You know it, said Hikari. Then the world around them began to glow bright. The three teens look at the horizon and see that the world is fading away. They look to each other and hold each other close. As the fading world reaches them, they promise to each other to reunite again one day. The world then fades to black. Konoha Elemental Nations. At the bottom of the cliff Naruto reappears in his homeworld. Naruto looks around and finds that he is back here he was when he first went to the digital world. During their journey the teens found out that time works differently in the digital world than in the human worlds. 2 years in the digital world equals to 2 hours in the human world. Naruto then digs through his pockets and finds his Digivice and sees that he can still use it here in the human world. Naruto smirks at that. He then remembers that he has a fight with Neji in a month and that Jiraiya left him to die from being thrown off a cliff. By now Jiraiya has told the Hokage that he is dead and Jiji will most likely keep it a secret until the exams. Naruto then feels his chakra return to him and senses the Kyuubi back in his gut. Naruto makes a clone and smirks when he sees it. Naruto then dispels the clone and then runs into the deepest parts of the forest. Here Naruto will train for the exams against Neji and show Konoha that he is no longer the Naruto they knew, but a dangerous shinobi that they will fear. 1 month later. Konoha was abuzz with people from all over the nations. They are all here to see Genin beat the stuffing out of each other in the exams. In the stadium are Naruto's friends and fellow Genin that were unable to make it to the final round, along with their senseis. Among them are Naruto's siblings Naruko, Natsumi and Menma. They had come to Konoha with their parents 2 weeks ago in the hope to reunite with their brother. But to their horror, Naruto had died 2 weeks prior to their arrival. To even more horror it was revealed that Jiraiya had caused Naruto's death. When Kushina found that out, well. Flashback 2 weeks ago. Slam. That was the sound of Jiraiya's skull hitting the floor of the Hokage office thanks to Kushina. Jiraiya looks up to see the enraged face of his student's wife look dead into his very soul. Jiraiya was then grabbed by Kushina's chakra chains and slammed multiple times onto the ground. This continues until Minato finally stops it 5 minutes later. By this point Jiraiya has blood all over his body and several broken bones. Jiraiya at this point only has one eye open and is looking at Minato and the glare that he is getting from him. I am going to ask this only once. Why did you do this to Naruto? Why did you have him go through hell? Why did you lie to Naruto and everyone about us? Tell me you bastard. Roared Minato. Jiraiya looks on at the people in the room. Other than Minato and Kushina there is Hiruzen, Tsunade, Shizune, Naruko, Natsumi, Menma, the Fire Daimyo, and the elders of the Toad Summons. Jiraiya sighs and then speaks. The reason is because Naruto was a threat and needed to be dealt with. And how was my son a threat? He was barely trained in anything. And that was because of you. Yelled Minato. It had to be done. Naruto was a threat to the world. If he was allowed to live, he could have changed everything we know in the ninja world, and that includes Konoha. I wasn't about to risk Konoha's future for one measly brat, said Jiraiya. Jiraiya then screamed in pain when Tsunade punched him in the gut. You fucking bastard. That brat was our godson. I should never have trusted you years ago. When you told me that Minato, Kushina and their child died, I should have checked to make sure that they were dead. But now I find out that not only that they are alive, but that you caused Naruto's death. I should gut you right here and now. Roared Tsunade. But just before Tsunade could kill her former teammate, Hiruzen spoke up. Tsunade, stop. I know that you wish to kill him, but as of right now we need Jiraiya if we are to deal with Orochimaru in 2 weeks. Tsunade and the rest of the people in the room look to Hiruzen as he continues. Trust me, Jiraiya will not go unpunished for what he has gone. Because of him I have lost a boy I consider a grandson, and I too want retribution for his death. Tsunade and the others nod their heads at that. Minato and Kushina then place seals on Jiraiya so that he is unable to escape Konoha after Orochimaru is dealt with. Know this Jiraiya, you are no longer my sensei. I hate you with all my heart. You will never have anything to do with my children ever again. Said Minato. And I wash my hands of you as well. You are no longer my teammate. And if you come near my children, I will make you regret it. Snarled Tsunade. Jiraiya the Toad Sage. As daimyo of the Land of Fire I hereby strip you of the title of Sannin. Your travel rights are null and void and you will stand for treason to not only Konoha but all of Fire Country. Said the Fire Daimyo. Make no mistake Jiraiya. When Orochimaru is dealt with, I will kill you. You took my child from me and made him live a life of absolute hell. And for that I will make you suffer for it. Said Kushina in a dark tone. As the group of people discuss what they are going to do to Jiraiya, they are unaware that someone had been listening on everything that was said. The person has a red cape that covers his face and carries a scythe with a ball attached to a chain to the scythe. This is Vitamin Naruto and thanks to its power was able to hear everything and learned a bit as to why Jiraiya wanted him dead. Naruto smiles a bit to hear that his family does care for him, but he pushes those feelings aside for now. Naruto then disappears in the night sky and heads back to his hidden training ground he made in the Forest of Death. Flashback over. But that over, the group work to prevent whatever Orochimaru has cooked up for Konoha. In the cage booth sits Hiruzen and Orochimaru disguised as the Kazekage, along with Tsunade, Jiraiya, Kushina and Minato. Orochimaru is a little worried to see Minato and his wife alive, but he feels that his invasion will still work as planned. He will have to deal with Kin later once the invasion begins. "Ah, Hokage-sama. It is good to see you again," said the Kazekage. "It is good to see you as well, Rasa. I hope that the journey to Konoha wasn't too difficult," said Hiruzen. "Hardly. It was an easy journey to get here. I am looking forward to seeing my children fight in the exams," said Rasa. Down in the stands, the Namikaze children are both excited and sad by the exams. Excited to see other genin do battle, but sad that their brother wasn't able to participate thanks to Jiraiya. Near them are Mito and Nawaki Senju, the children of Tsunade and Dan Kato. They too are excited for the exams and upset that their cousin was gone thanks to Jiraiya. "Oh, I cannot wait to see these fights," said an excited Nawaki. "Calm down, brat. The fights will begin soon," said Mito. "I just wish that Naruto was here," said a sad Naruko. She was the one who was most excited to meet their older brother. And now she will not meet him until her time came to an end. Itsumi places a hand on her sister's shoulder to cheer her up. "I know that you are hurting, Naruko, but remember that we are with you in this." "Yeah, we got your back, Naruko. And after the exams we will do our best to be the greatest shinobi in the world. For Naruto," said Menma. Naruko smiles at her siblings and brings them into a hug even as tears threaten to fall from her face. In the arena are 6 of the 8 fighters ready to fight. The only ones missing are Naruto and Sasuke. Most of the people from Konoha are wondering where Sasuke is, while Naruto's friends are wondering where he is. "Where is Naruto? His match with Neji is going to start soon," said Hinata. "Don't worry, Hinata. Naruto will be here soon." "I know it," said Satsuki Uchiha. She, like Sasuke and her mother, are some of the few Uchihas that survived the Uchiha massacre years ago. She looks like a younger version of her mother. "Who cares where that baka is? I want Sasuke to be here already," said Sakuri Haruno. This is the younger twin sister of Sakura. "Be quiet, Sakuri. Naruto is not a baka. And besides, he will be here soon. He is determined to beat Neji and he doesn't give up," said Sakura. "Yeah. I hope he gets here soon. But have any of you seen Naruto at all in the last month?" "I haven't," said Ino. "No, I haven't. It is strange," said Inozen, Ino's twin older brother. "I haven't either. And he hasn't been seen around the village either," said Hasana, Hinata's older twin sister. "Alright, listen up. My name is Genma Shiranui and I am the proctor for the final exams. And if I tell you brats to stop, then you better stop or I will stop you myself, and you wouldn't want that. Now then, will Naruto Uzumaki and Neji Hyuga please step forward and the rest get up to the boxes," said Genma. The other genin other than Neji leave the arena. Neji then looks over and sees that Naruto is not in the arena. "I see that Uzumaki is a no-show. Ha. It seems that fate has decreed me the victor without having to fight," said Neji. Just as Hiruzen was about to tell everyone that Naruto had died, a massive blast shook the arena. From the other end of the arena came a large amount of smoke, and from the smoke came a figure. The people see that the figure wears a white cloak, white pants and shirt. He wears a blue scarf that covers most of the top of his head but has blonde hair sticking out of it along with his eyes. He also wears a black face guard around his mouth. He has black arm guards on both arms and black combat boots. By his side are 5 weapons, 2 red short jagged blades, a long katana on his back and 2 strange weapons on his hips. There are also shuriken and kunai on him as well. The figure also has a Konoha headband as a belt. "Who are you?" asked Genma, who was at the ready to take down this person. "I apologize for being late. But I am here for my fight with Neji," said the man. "Naruto Uzumaki?" asked Genma. The figure eye smiles at Genma. "Of course, who else would I be?" asked the now known Naruto. The stand was silent for a moment but then erupts in cheers at Naruto finally arriving. "Cage booth. He is alive. My baby boy is alive," yelled Kushina, who was crying tears of joy to see her son. Minato was also relieved to see his son alive and well. But he had to hold his wife back to stop her from going down to the arena to hug the stuffing out of him. "Kushina, well, I'm glad to see him as well. You will have to wait until after the exams to go see him. We have a lot to explain to him and he may not be happy to see us," said Minato. "I don't care. I just want to hug him to make sure that he really is here," said Kushina. The Hyuga Anbu just came over to Hiruzen to tell him that it is Naruto in the arena. When he heard that, Hiruzen sighed in relief. "I agree with Minato on this one, Kushina. He needs his head in the exams and not being confused at finding out that his family is alive after all this time," said Hiruzen. "I know that you want to meet him, and to be honest so do I, but he needs to focus on the exams for now. When it is all said and done then we will go and see him," said Tsunade. Kushina had begrudgingly to agree at that. While she was disappointed, she also knew that Naruto needed his whole attention on the exams right now. Jiraiya however was furious. He didn't understand how the brat survived. But he would kill Naruto and make sure that he couldn't be a threat to Konoha. Even if it was the last thing he would do. Arena. Genma was then told that it is Naruto and to continue with the exams. "Alright then. Are both fighters ready?" asked Genma. "Ready," said Neji. "Ready," said Naruto. "Hajime," yelled Genma, who then jumped away. The two fighters then rushed towards each other. For a few minutes both fighters fought with their taijutsu. They then break away. "I see you have gotten better since I last saw you. But even with this strength you will fall to fate," said Neji. "You know Neji, I got to ask. Why do you hide behind fate so much?" asked Naruto. "What do you mean by that? Fate is what controls everything in the world. I don't hide behind it," said Neji. "Yes, you do. You know, I envy you Neji. You have everything I could want. A family, those that believe in you no matter what, and a sensei that actually wants to train you. And yet you continue to complain about how your father was taken from you. At least you had your father when you were younger. Me? I thought that he was dead for years. Your father was there for you when you needed him when you were growing up, while mine was nowhere to be found when I needed him," said Naruto. Minato flinches at those words. He looks down in shame at them as he knows that they are true. Kushina also looks down in shame as she wasn't here for her son when he needed someone to help him. Jiraiya however smirks internally. He thinks that Naruto hates his family and will never want anything to do with them. If that is the case, then Naruto will most likely leave Konoha and become a missing nin when given the chance. "It doesn't matter what I have or what you don't have. Fate is what causes everything in this world. Fate had decreed that your father would leave you here in Konoha. That is why he left you," said Neji. Naruto shrugs his shoulders. "Maybe, who knows? But it doesn't matter. Fate has no hold over me. And I will prove it here and now." Naruto grabs one of his red blades and rushes towards Neji. Naruto slashes at the Hyuga as the prodigy jumps back. "Damn it. That blade is long enough that I can't get close enough to hit him with my taijutsu. I will need to use the rotation to get him back. When he lands on the ground then I will hit him with my gentle fist," thought Neji. Naruto was about to slash at Neji once more when Neji began to spin in place. "No way. How did Neji learn that?" asked Hinata. "I don't know. Only the main branch is taught that technique," said Hasana. "What technique is that?" asked Kiba with Akamaru in his hood. "It is called the rotation. It's the Hyuga's clan's perfect defense. Nothing can pierce it," said Hasana. "Oh man, come on Naruto. You can beat him," said Satsuki. "Ha! Like that Baka is going to win," said Sakuri. "Shut up Sakuri. Naruto isn't out of this yet," said Sakura. Naruto then slammed into the rotation and was thrown up into the air. However, Naruto flipped in the air and did something that no one saw coming. Naruto then stood on the air. The entire crowd was in shock. Here was a genin standing on the air. The stadium was silent at the sight. Naruto's family and friends were surprised to see this along with the senseis. "Whoa, how did Naruto do that?" asked Asuma. "I don't know. It's not a genjutsu so it's not an illusion. Somehow Naruto is standing in the air," said Kurenai. "Haha. That kid is a killer. He is so going to get the Chunin rank just for that." "I know it," said Enko. Back with Naruto and Neji. Neji was in shock like everyone else. Somehow his opponent is flying in the air. Neji grits his teeth at this. The only long-range attack he has is the vacuum wave and some shuriken and kunai. "How are you flying? No one can do that except the Tsuchikage," asked Neji. "I am not really flying. I call this air walking. Much like tree and water walking, I have the chakra and my feet connect with the chakra in the air. You see Neji, my sensei really only taught me the tree walking technique, nothing else. I was taught the water walking by a pervert that wanted nothing to do with me. Not many techniques for the exams I know. So, during the month-long break, an idea came to me. I knew only 3 things in terms of techniques. After a week of trying non-stop, I figured out this little number. But I also knew that this alone would never help me win. So, I looked up some weapons and taught myself how to use them," said Naruto. Naruto then grabbed one of the strange weapons on his belt and pointed it at Neji. "I also created this weapon myself. And I think you will like it," said Naruto with a grin underneath his face mask. "And what does it do?" asked Neji. A moment later he found out what it did. Bang. Neji then falls to the ground in pain as he holds his shoulder. "Arg!" screamed Neji. The crowd is surprised to see the Hyuga prodigy on the ground as he holds his arm in pain. Neji looks up at Naruto and glares at him. "What did you do to me?" he yelled. "Simple. This," Naruto says as he holds his weapon up, "is something I call a gun. It fires an object called a bullet at high speeds that can tear through flesh like paper," he explained. The crowd is shocked to hear of such a weapon. The shinobi from other nations are practically salivating at getting such a weapon, along with a certain weapon mistress from Konoha. While the Naruto haters in Konoha are angry that Naruto has such a weapon. But it gets even worse at what Naruto says next. And the best part. The bullets move so fast that not even your Byakugan nor the Sharingan can track them. "So, if I was you, I would start dancing," said Naruto. Naruto then fires more bullets at Neji as he dodges them. Neji then puts up the rotation and to his relief the bullets fail to pierce the rotation. Seeing that the rotation is back up and stopping his bullets, Naruto puts the weapon away and takes out his Digivice. "You see, Naruto? Not even with your new weapon can you stop me. I will win because fate says so," said Neji. "If my bullets won't stop you, then I should turn up the heat. Execute. Merriman X fusion," said Naruto as he holds his Digivice. Naruto then erupts in flames. Seeing this, Kushina wanted to rush out to save her son from what she believes is a failed jutsu. Genma was about to stop the match when the fire dies down and Naruto is then shown to be fine but covered in fire with most of his body and hair aflame with an H symbol on his fists. Neji is once again shocked. His opponent is now covered in flames and is somehow not dead. "How are you not dead? You should be dead with the amount of fire on you." Naruto Merriman X chuckles at Neji. "Oh, this? It's a technique that lets me control fire at its core. Now, let's end this fight. Fireball." Neji dodges the fireballs and rushes forward in an attempt to strike Naruto down but is unable to get close due to the heat. Naruto fires more flames at Neji but Neji then uses the rotation one last time. However, this would be his undoing. Naruto smirks and sends a stream of fire at Neji. The fire wraps around the rotation and heats the area inside of Dome. After a few minutes the fire dies down and Neji is found on the ground unconscious due to heat exhaustion. Seeing Neji on the ground, Genma calls out. Neji Hyuga is unconscious. The winner is Naruto Uzumaki. The crowd and Naruto's friends and family cheer for Naruto's victory. Naruto watches as Neji is taken away from the arena by the medics after he defuses with Merriman X Naruto, then jumps up to the fighter's box and meets with the other fighters. "So, troublesome. How is it that after only a month you somehow become even more troublesome?" asked Shikamaru with a smile on his face. "Tuckle, it's a gift," said Naruto. "Yeah, well, do it less. I don't want to have a heart attack at a young age," said Shikamaru. "No promises. The day is young, I just may give you a heart attack yet," said Naruto with a smirk behind his face guard. "Is it true that you only knew 3 techniques when you started the exams?" asked Temari. "Do really? I learned the water walking during the month-long break," answered Naruto. "Damn. You must have trained your butt off to get this strong in just a month," said Temari. "Right, 2 years, but I am not telling her that," thought Naruto. "That I did. But in the end, it was worth it. And I do hope that you give a good show out there today." Temari smirks. "Oh, don't worry, I will give one hell of a show." Naruto grins. "Then prove it, my dear Desert Rose," said Naruto. Temari blushes at the compliment. Kankuro narrows his eyes at Naruto for flirting with his sister, while Gaara was intrigued by Naruto's growth. "Alright then. Will Gaara no Sabaku and Sasuke Uchiha come down now?" said Genma. Gaara appeared in the arena, but Sasuke was a no-show. After a few minutes and Sasuke still did not show up. "Page Booth. Okage-sama, what do we do? The Uchiha is not here yet," asked an Anbu agent. "Simple, the Uchiha is disqualified for his tardiness," said Hiruzen. Let's not be too hasty here. A lot of important clients came to see the Uchiha fight. Perhaps we should push the fight to the last so that it gives the Uchiha time to arrive and allow the others to show off their abilities," said the Kazekage. Hiruzen thinks this over and nods his head. "Very well. But the Uchiha will not be promoted. Arena. This fight will be moved back for later. Now will Kankuro no Sabaku and Shino Aburam come down?" said Genma. As Shino moves, Kankuro begins to sweat a bit. "Damn it. I wasn't expecting the fights to go longer than this. Crow is needed in the invasion," thought Kankuro. "Proctor. I forfeit," yelled out Kankuro. The crowd boos the genin for his cowardice. Shino looks at Kankuro and wonders why he forfeited. Kankuro looks over to his left and sees Naruto staring at him. "What?" asked Kankuro. "Just wondering why you put on the makeup if you were going to forfeit," said Naruto with a grin on his face. Temari laughs at her brother as does the other fighters. Even Gaara and Shino chuckle lightly at the jab. "It's war paint," said Kankuro. Then why does this say the property of Temari no Sabaku? Asked Naruto after he takes out a makeup kit from his pocket that he took from Kankuro. Kankuro was then hit in the head by his sister. "You damn thief. That is my makeup," yelled Temari. But before she could beat her brother more, Genma called out to the crowd. "Okay then. Will Temari no Sabaku and Shikamaru Nara come down? Or will someone else forfeit?" asked Genma. Temari glares at her brother and then jumps down to the arena. But Shikamaru doesn't move. I have to fight another girl. So, troublesome. Maybe I should for ya. Started Shikamaru until Naruto kicked him into the arena. No quitting. I did not train an entire month to be the only one who fights. Now get in there and fight, damn it, yelled Naruto. Damn you, Naruto. You are so damn troublesome, said Shikamaru. Well, you have a choice, either fight Temari or you can deal with your mother who has her frying pan at the ready to your left. Take your pick, said Naruto. Shikamaru then looks to his left and blanches when he sees his mother next to his father with her legendary frying pan in her hands and a grin on her face. Damn it. Naruto has me in checkmate. Damn troublesome blondes, said Shikamaru. He is then hit with many killer intents. The strongest was coming from behind him. So, I'm a troublesome blonde, huh? You know I was going to go easy on you, said Temari as she readies her fan with all three moons showing. But now, I am going to beat your ass into the ground. Hajim, yelled Genma. Here I come, you lazy baka, yelled Temari. Oh, fuck my life, said Shikamaru. And the fight goes like cannon. After the fight was over and getting Shikamaru out of the ground after Temari hit him one last time since she was still angry with him, Genma tried once again to start the fight with Gaara and Sasuke. But the problem was that Sasuke was still not there yet. The crowd was getting angry even more than before. And to make it even worse, Hiruzen had no choice but to disqualify Sasuke altogether for his lateness. He can't do that. Sasuke hasn't fought yet, screeched Sakuri. Okizama has no choice now. Sasuke didn't show up and they can't hold off the fights any longer, said Sakura. Grr. When I get my hands on that brother of mine, I will beat him into the ground, snarled Satsuki. Alright everyone. Due to a no-show and a forfeit, we will have a random draw to find out who will fight who, said Genma. The draw revealed that Naruto would fight Temari, while Shino would fight Gaara. Okay. Will Naruto and Temari please come down, said Genma. Both blondes jump into the arena and stand ready to fight. So, ready to lose to a fellow blonde? Asked Temari. Hardly. But I do hope that you give quite the show, my lovely desert rose, said Naruto with a smirk on his face. Temari blushes at the praise while three girls in the stands narrow their eyes at the Suna woman for taking the attention of their blonde. Genma smirks a bit at the interactions of the two genin. Alright then, are both of you ready? He asked. Ready, said both blondes. Hajim, yelled Genma. Temari has her fan at all three moons and fires off a power wind jutsu at Naruto. Naruto dodges the blast, then using his twin red blades, he makes fire and wind slices that launch at Temari. Temari then takes to the air to dodge the attacks. She then blasts some more wind at Naruto, who dodges once again. I see that you are having fun, Temari, said Naruto. Of course, but I plan to end this here and now, said Temari. She then uses her strongest wind jutsu at Naruto. Wind scythe jutsu. The large blast of wind picks up a large amount of dirt and dust that covers the area. The crowd waits with anticipation to see if Naruto was out or if he was still in the fight. Their answer came when Naruto shot out of the dust into the air. But Naruto looked different than before. He now has white fur, larger hands with claws on the ends, and has feathers on his elbows, along with a visor over his eyes. His legs are now red and yellow, and has a silver chest and shoulder guard on. This is Naruto's Silphaman. I must admit you are impressive, Temari. But I agree with you. This fight ends now. Naruto then brings his hands near each and begins to form energy in his hands. Those that knew of Minato, along with Minato and his family, were at first shocked to see Naruto about to use the Rasengan until they saw that the energy was purple in color and that he was able to throw it. Static force, yelled Naruto. The energy blast hit Temari right in the chest and she was thrown off her fan. The energy from the sphere burned her fan and burned her as well a bit. Naruto then flew towards her and grabbed her before she hit the ground. Temari blushed at the closeness she was in with Naruto along with feeling his muscles after he defused from Silphaman. Bottom floor. I do believe this is your stop, Naruto said jokingly. Temari giggles at that. I guess it is. Well, I can no longer fight. I need my fan to use my most powerful jutsus. Proctor, I forfeit, she said. Genma nods his head. Temari forfeits. Naruto wins. After that, Naruto helps Temari out of the arena just as Genma starts the next round. Now will Shino Aburam and Gaara no Sabaku come down to the arena, said Genma. Proctor, I forfeit. I have no chance of beating Gaara. And even if I somehow did, I would not want to fight Naruto," said Shino. Genma nods his head. "Alright then. Will Naruto Uzumaki come down to fight Gaara for the last round?" he said. Naruto jumps back down to the arena and grins under his face guard at Gaara. "So, we meet once again, Gaara. I do hope that you give me one hell of a fight," he said. Gaara gives a predatory grin at Naruto. "Don't worry about that. I plan to give mother your blood after all. And she wants to savor it." But just as Genma was about to start the match, two people appeared in the arena. "Yo. Are we late?" asked Kakashi. Most of the stadium sweat dropped at that. Well, Kushina wanted to jump down and strangle Kakashi for his negligence and his actions with Naruto. Minato also wanted to hurt his former student for what he had done to his son, but had to settle with holding his wife back from killing Kakashi at the moment. Genma shakes off the sweat drop and looks over at Kakashi. "You are so very late. The Uchiha was disqualified for his tardiness. On orders from the Hokage before you go and ask." Kakashi is shocked to hear this. He thought that if they arrived a little late then it would make the crowd love Sasuke's fight more. But now the Hokage has taken his star student out of the exams. "He can't do that. I am an Uchiha elite. I demand to fight," yelled Sasuke. "Sorry, not sorry. But the order is from Hokage-sama. My hands are tied," said Genma, who smirked at the Uchiha brat. "Wait, then who is fighting Gaara?" asked Kakashi. "That would be me," said Naruto. Kakashi looks and sees a figure in the arena near Gaara. At first, he didn't know who this was, but then he noticed the blonde hair coming out of the blue scarf around his head. "Naruto? Is that you?" asked Kakashi. "Who else? And just so you know, I beat Neji and Temari to get here. And I did it without your help nor any help from Jiraiya," said Naruto with a snarl. "Dope. I demand that you give up your spot. I am going to fight Gaara," yelled Sasuke. "No. I made it here with my own strength. You came late and lost your chance," said Naruto. "I don't care. I am going to fight and you can't stop me," said Sasuke. Before Genma could try and get Kakashi and Sasuke out of the arena so that the final round could go on, an Anbu came over and told Genma of a change of plans. "Alright then," said Genma to the Anbu. Hokage-sama and Kazuki-sama came to an agreement. The final round will be a three-way fight between Naruto Uzumaki, Gaara no Sabaku and Sasuke Uchiha. So, will you all take your places? The crowd cheer for this, mainly the Sasuke supporters and the Naruto haters. Naruto's friends and family hate the fact that Sasuke is allowed to fight even though he was late for every match. Sakura is screaming her head off at Sasuke for him to win the exams. Kakashi walks over to the other Jonin senseis, but they ignore him since they too hate the fact that his student got special treatment once again. "Ha. You see, dope, I still get to fight because I am an elite. And elites get special rights in this world," said a smug Sasuke. Naruto rolls his eyes at Sasuke. Naruto can even feel the Kyuubi rolling his eyes inside of him at the runt of the Uchiha clan. "It doesn't matter. I plan to win this. So, let's get this fight started," said Naruto. Gaara is just as annoyed at Sasuke. "I agree. I wanted to fight only the Uzumaki since he at least was strong enough to make it to the final round under his own power." Sasuke was enraged by those words. But before he could go into a self-righteous rant, Genma starts the last round. "Hajime!" yelled Genma. Naruto and Sasuke rush towards each other, but Gaara sends out his sand at the two of them. They both dodge the sand and jump back a few feet. Naruto takes out his red blades and slashes at the sand, stopping it from getting near him. Sasuke used his fire jutsu to stop the sand. Gaara had yet to move from his spot, but he was putting more energy into beating Naruto as he is the stronger opponent. He would deal with Sasuke after the Uzumaki was dealt with. Naruto then jumped into the air and stayed there for a moment and run on the air toward Sasuke. Both Sasuke and Kakashi was shocked to see Naruto running in the air. Sasuke grits his teeth in anger that the dope can do something that he can't. But before he could demand to know how to do that, he jumps away from sand shurikens being thrown at him. Gaara puts more energy into the fight and is enjoying it. He has not one but two opponents to fight. For the next few minutes this continues as the three genin try to defeat each other. "Ready to give up, Sasuke?" asked Naruto. "Never. I won't give up to an orphan loser. Nor the Kazukige's failure of a son," yelled Sasuke. Minato and Kushina along with Mikoto growl at those words. For Minato and Kushina because Naruto is not an orphan and Mikoto because she hates the fact that there is so much of Hyugaku in Sasuke. Kankuro and Temari also growl at Sasuke for saying such things about their brother. "Haha. It doesn't matter. I am done with you," said Naruto. He rushes forward to slash at Sasuke, but Sasuke then uses a move that very few know about. "Chidori!" yelled Sasuke as he has lightning around his arm and ready to hit Naruto with it. Naruto smirks under his face guard and jumps up into the air and dodges the attack. But no one noticed that his eyes changed for just a second. "Kakashi," breathed out Minato. "I can't believe he would teach Sasuke such a dangerous move. I will need to speak with him even more now once the exams are over." He growled out. Kushina looked even more enraged that Kakashi would teach some as unstable as Sasuke such a move. And then the brat used it on her son. "Interesting move, Sasuke. I wonder how you would like to see it from the other end," said Naruto with a grin on his face. "What do you mean by that?" yelled Sasuke. Naruto grins. "I mean this." Then Naruto once again shocks the crowd as he uses the Chidori. "Chidori!" yelled Naruto as he rushes toward Sasuke. Sasuke with wide eyes was able to dodge the move at the last second but did get a small burn on the right side of his torso. Sasuke then glares at Naruto with anger. "How the hell do you know that move? Kakashi only taught me that move." "Tuckle, simple. You taught me it just now," said Naruto. "I wouldn't teach you anything. Even if my life depended on it," yelled Sasuke. "I know. That is why I went the same route as you and Kakashi," said Naruto as his eyes changed, shocking the crowd even more, especially the Uchihas and the Sasuke supporters. Naruto's eyes turned into the Sharingan with 3 tomos in each eye. Sasuke is now roaring with anger in his heart that somehow the dope gained his family Dojutsu. "How the fuck do you have the Sharingan?" "Tuckle, I unlocked it in my eyes. Turns out I am part Uchiha on my father's side of the family. I unlocked it during my first week of training for the exams. And I got to say this is a powerful Dojutsu. It is unfortunate that you only are at the first stage while I am at full maturity in both of my eyes," said Naruto as he goaded Sasuke into making a mistake. And he is not disappointed when Sasuke rushes forward to kill Naruto for stealing his family power. Naruto grins and readies his fist. Just as Sasuke was in range, Naruto's fist glows gold, something Sasuke doesn't see in time. "Fist of the Beast King," yelled Naruto as a lion's head slams into Sasuke and pushes him into the far wall. Sasuke falls to the ground in a slump. "Sasuke is out," said Genma as he jumps in and grabs the unconscious Uchiha off the ground. Naruto and Gaara continue to fight. Naruto then decides to finish this fight. Naruto takes out his Digivice again and readies it. "Well Gaara, I have to say that this was one hell of a fight, but I plan on ending it here and now," said Naruto. "Then prove it, Uzumaki. Prove to me that you and I exist," said Gaara. "With pleasure. Execute. Metal Gurumin X." In a blast of light Naruto changes once again. Naruto now has ice blue armor on his body with strange weapons all over him, along with weapons on his arms. The crowd is once again shocked to see anything like this. Gaara is alarmed to see this as is Shukaku inside of him. But before Gaara could try to understand this, Naruto goes onto the attack. Race Cross Freezer. Naruto launches 5 missiles at Gaara. They land around him, freezing his sand. Naruto then finishes the fight with one last attack. Garuru Burst. Naruto fires every single weapon he has at Gaara. He lowers the power to lightly hurt him, not kill Gaara. When it was done, Gaara was on the ground unconscious. Naruto defuses with Metal Gurumin X and goes over to help his brother in burden. The crowd was silent at what they had just seen. The silence was broken when Minato and Kushina began to clap for their son's victory. Naruto's friends then begin to clap as well for his win with Hinata, Ino, Satsuki and Naruto's siblings, giving Naruto a standing ovation. "I am proud to announce that this year's winner of the Chunin exams is Naruto Uzumaki Namikaze," said Hiruzen. The crowd cheers louder than before. While the Naruto haters try to scream that Naruto is not a Namikaze, but no one can hear them. But then feathers started to fall from the sky and the cage booth exploded. The invasion of the leaf has begun. Sound was attacking the village. And most of the village was fighting them off. But something was off with the attack. Sand was supposed to fight with sound, but Sand Shinobi weren't fight with sound, but fight against sound. Naruto grins under his mask. Just then 2 figures appear behind him. "I see that you were able to make sand betray sound. Nice job Karen, Kin," said Naruto. "Thanks, Naruto-kun," said Karen and Kin. "Well done, now on to the second part of the plan. Karen, head to the hospital and help the wounded. Kin, go and get Taiya and deal with Orochimaru's other bodyguards," said Naruto. "Hi," said both girls as they both went to do their jobs. As the girls went out to do as instructed, Naruto takes out his guns and shot 4 enemy shinobi in their heads. "Fools. I have bigger fish to fry," said Naruto as he disappears in a flash. Just as Naruto left the arena, his siblings and friends jumped in to find him. "Where did Naruto go?" asked Menma. "I don't know. He was just here," said Naruko. "Maybe he went into the village to fight off the sound in there," said Natsumi. "Most likely. We need to help where we can," said Asuma. "Follow us and do what you can. But don't put yourselves in danger for no reason," said Kurenai. "Hi," said the Namikaze siblings and the Genin. While they went out to fight, a few were worried about Naruto. Be safe, Naruto-kun, thought Hinata, Ino and Satsuki. Underneath Konoha, Naruto was walking and killing members of Konoha shinobi. But these people are not the normal shinobi of Konoha, they are rude Anbu under the command of Danzo Shimura, one of the men that made Naruto's life horrible when he was a child. Naruto remembered the time when the one-eyed bastard tried to kidnap him when he was just 5. The only reason why Danzo failed was thanks to Nico and Wolf. Now Naruto was here to remove the thorn that Danzo had put in Naruto's side since that day. And he will deal with him today. Naruto shot, sliced, tore and obliterated the root as he walked through the hidden base. He would not be denied his revenge for all the hatred that he had to go through. He would deal with Danzo right now and then deal with the others later on when they least expected. Naruto had finally made it to where the man of the hour was waiting for the battle outside to end and for him to take control. How interesting. The Kyuubi Jinchuriki has come to my home of his own volition. I can't help but wonder why, said Danzo. Because you are a cancer. A cancer that needs to be removed, said Naruto as he readied his guns. A cancer, you say? And what makes you think that I am a cancer when all that I have done is for the good of Konoha? Said Danzo. Don't give me that crap. The for the good of Konoha speech may work on the simple-minded fools on the civilian council, but I am no fool. Not any longer. I know what you have done in your long life. You orchestrated your sensei's death to get the Hokage position and the numerous assassination attempts on Jiji. You, Jiraiya and Orochimaru and those 2 other fools helped to destroy Uzushio just so that you can keep the Kyuubi here in Konoha. You also are the reason why Konoha doesn't have an alliance with Kumo since you used your Sharingan to put the envoy under a Jinjutsu. So don't preach to me about the good for Konoha. All that I see here is a leech that has long outlived its life, said Naruto as his eyes turned into the Sharingan. Danzo became angered by those words since Naruto knew some of his darkest secrets that he hid well. And what does a child know? You don't know how this world works. Power alone is what makes this world turn and those on top are the ones who make the rules. Everyone else has no choice but to follow them, said Danzo. You mean you? I know men like you. Men like you don't share anything, let alone power, said Danzo. There are no men like me, said Danzo as he readied his hidden arm for combat. Naruto smirks. There are always men like you, said Naruto. For a second neither person moved. Then Danzo used his wood release at Naruto, but Naruto was quick and shot out the Sharingan eyes on Danzo's arm and then blasted the arm right off the man's body. Naruto was even able to shoot out the Sharingan eye in Danzo's head. Damn it. How did you know? Yelled Danzo. I entered this place weeks ago and stole your black book that had every horrible thing that you have ever done in your life in it. With it I learned everything that I needed to know about you, said Naruto. Damn you Jinchuriki. When I get out of this I will see to it that you will be my weapon, said Danzo. Naruto grins at Danzo. And what makes you think that you are getting out of here alive? Asked Naruto. I am an elder of the village. You can't kill me, said Danzo. Actually I can. You helped to destroy my family and attacked me when I was a child. I have every right to end you. And I have something very special for you, said Naruto. And what do you mean by that? Asked Danzo. Naruto grabs his Digivice and readies it. I am going to make sure that you stay dead and gone. With what I have in mind, not even the Ito Tensei will bring you back. Execute. Dundevim infusion. Naruto changes to now having a black body, red eyes, a black cape, and 2 massive fists made of dark energy. Naruto then grabs Danzo, and the man begins to scream in pain as he begins to disintegrate. What are you doing to me? Yelled Danzo. I am destroying you. All the way to your dark soul. With that gone not even the Ito Tensei will bring you back. And this will make sure that you never return to the world of the living ever again, said Dundevim in Naruto. Danzo struggles in the dark hands that Naruto has and fails to escape. The seals that were on Danzo failed to go off due to them disintegrate with its master. Danzo screamed in rage at Naruto for stopping him from gaining what was his. Naruto defuses and smirks. Good riddance to bad rubbish. Now to grab a few things and head back outside and end this fight before it gets worse, said Naruto. Naruto then leaves the area, but not before leaving an exploding tag to destroy the hidden base. Konoha with Orochimaru. Orochimaru was growling in pure fury. He had everything planned for this day. He tricked Suna into attacking and to bring their Jinchuriki. He even waited for his sensei to weaken to a point that he could kill him. But now everything was falling apart. Suna had betrayed him since they somehow found out that he killed their Kage. Minato and his wife Kushina were alive and helping to defend Konoha from him, and even his old teammates were here for some strange reason. And one of his bodyguards had betrayed him as well, along with Kin and Karen. Orochimaru was now beyond furious and he wouldn't stand for it. How dare you betray me, Taiya? When I get my hands on you, Kin and Karen, I will give you my own personal experimentation," yelled Orochimaru. "Fuck you ya snake fucker. I should have left your pedophile ass years ago," yelled Taiya. "It doesn't matter what you threaten us with. We won't fear you any longer," said Kin. "It seems that your pawns have left you, my fallen student. Maybe you should have taken better care of them," said Hiruzen. "It doesn't matter, old man. After today I will be the one to kill not one but two Hokages and destroy Konoha," yelled Orochimaru as his 3 remaining bodyguards surround their master, and the first 2 Hokages were in front to defend their temporary master. "I doubt it, Orochimaru. You're outnumbered and outgunned. Surrender now and this can all end," said Minato. "Never, you blonde bastard. I sent word to Kabuto and he will be here momentarily to help me and all of you," said Orochimaru. "No, he is not," said Naruto as he landed on a nearby tree. "Naruto? What are you doing here?" asked Hiruzen, who was surprised to see his grandson in all but blood. Minato, Kushina and Tsunade were surprised to see him too, with Kushina wanting to get near him to protect her son from Orochimaru. Jiraiya was glaring at Naruto with all the hate in his body as he wanted the boy dead due to the prophecy that was over his head. "I came to help stop Orochimaru," said Naruto. "What can you do, boy? You were barely trained and I am a Sannin. What can you do to stop me?" asked Orochimaru as he grins at him. Naruto grabs something behind him and throws it at Orochimaru, and when the snake sees it, he growls. Naruto threw the head of Kabuto with the man's head looking like it was in extreme pain before he died. "I can kill your right-hand man and destroy your plans altogether," said Naruto. Orochimaru glares at Naruto. "How did you do this? I had been planning this for years and you are just a brat. How did you outsmart me?" yelled Orochimaru. Naruto chuckles. "I can't take all the credit. I met a man that taught me everything he knew about tactics. I even told him about you and my theories about your plan for the leaf. You know what he told me about your plans? He said that they were the ideas of a toddler that had its toy taken from him. That in his long life has he never heard of such a weak and poorly thought out plan. He told me that a true leader should fight with his subordinates and not hide behind them or see them as pawns to be disposed of when they have no further use. Plus, it is your own fault that most of this has happened. You left the body of the Suna cage and didn't destroy it, allowing me to show Suna of what you did. In truth, you are your own worst enemy." Orochimaru was glaring so hard at Naruto that he would have turned into ash if the snake Sannin had heat vision. "I am going to rip your spine out in front of your parents and then I am going to make you really suffer, you brat. I will make you beg for mercy," yelled Orochimaru. "I doubt it. I have suffered more than most in life. But with that suffering I have gained new strength," said Naruto. "I know of your strength. The Sharingan and those powers you used during the exams. One way or another I will have them," said Orochimaru. Naruto chuckles. "Foolish snake. The powers I have are beyond you. For you don't understand the power that I have. I know more than you. I am the great Orochimaru. I know about thousands of jutsus that most would never even hear about," yelled Orochimaru. "But that is not the power that I speak of. I know why you left, Orochimaru. Envy of my father for taking the Hokage position that you craved. Pride about your research into immortality. A lust for power that rivals the Uchihas. And greed of all the jutsus in the world. But I have a better understanding of these powers due to the life that I have lived," said Naruto. Minato, Kushina, Hiruzen and Tsunade were worried about Naruto as he spoke. This just proved to them that Konoha had done a great deal of harm to Naruto. A lot more than they thought. "But enough talk. It is time to put you in the dirt, Orochimaru. Your sins have brought you here, but it will be my greed that sends you into the afterlife," said Naruto as he readies his Digivice. The Digivice roars with black energy that made almost everyone in the area shiver in fear. Naruto's eyes change from blue to gold with 1 and zeros in them. "Execute. Beelzem in Unity Evolution," yelled Naruto. Naruto is engulfed by the dark energy. A second later, a being with blonde hair, violet mask with a third eye on the center of it, a black tail and wearing a biker outfit. The figure opens all 3 eyes and glares at Orochimaru and grabs the 2 guns by his side. "Well, Orochimaru, are you ready to die?" asked Beelzem and Naruto. Orochimaru glares back. "Never." Just as he was about to move, Beelzem and Naruto blasts Orochimaru's bodyguards and kills all 3 in a single shot. Their bodies fall to the ground with energy appearing over them, but then rushes to Naruto and enters his body. Just then 2 black wings appear on his back and his right hand and covered in a long blaster. "I told you, Orochimaru. You will die this day," said Beelzem in blast mode Naruto. He raises his right hand and makes a star symbol and points his weapon at the snake Sannin. Orochimaru tries to move, but Kushina used her chains to make sure that he couldn't move. "Corona Destroyer," yelled Beelzem in blast mode Naruto. Orochimaru could do nothing but scream as the blast engulfs him. When the blast was over, nothing was left of the Sannin, not even ash. The two dead Hokages began to turn to dust with smiles on their faces, showing that Orochimaru was indeed dead. Beelzem and Naruto sighed in relief. He then hears the group of people moving closer to him. "Naruto," said Kushina. She was glad to see her son, but she was worried for him as well. "Hello, Ka-san," said Beelzem and Naruto. Kushina smiled and hugged her son. It was a little difficult due to the wings, but she didn't care. "Nicely done, Naruto. With Orochimaru dead and Kabuto dead as well. The attack should end soon," said Hiruzen. "Good work, brat," said Tsunade. "Thank you, Jiji, Granny," said Beelzem and Naruto with a smirk that made Kushina and Minato chuckle, while Tsunade gained a tick mark on her head. "Naruto, I want to say that I am sorry for what I did. And for leaving you here," said Minato. "We can talk about that later, too-san. The village comes first," said Beelzem and Naruto. Minato nods his head. The group then begins to walk to the village to help end the fight when Beelzem and Naruto looks at Jiraiya and glares at the pervert. Just then Beelzem and Naruto hits Jiraiya in the balls with his tail. Jiraiya falls to the ground crying his eyes out in pain, while Kushina and Tsunade laugh at the pervert's pain. "That was for throwing me off a fucking cliff," said Beelzem and Naruto as he flew off into the sky to help end the fight. "You deserve that, Jiraiya," said Minato. "Totally," said Tsunade. "Here, have another," yelled Kushina as she kicked Jiraiya in the nuts. "Ah!" yelled Jiraiya. The group of adults walk off with Jiraiya holds his sore nuts while crying on the ground and glaring at Naruto's back. "Damn you, brat. I will kill you one way or another," thought Jiraiya. Days later. The battle for Konoha has ended with Konoha as the victor. Suna had helped rebuild as a way to fix the mistake of almost betraying Konoha to Orochimaru. Every sound shinobi was rounded up and placed in cells for interrogation, except for Kin, Karen and Taiya, since they helped defend the village. Kushina was overjoyed to find out that Karen and Taiya were Uzumaki and gave the two of them great big hugs. The village was getting some help from Wave to fix the place up and the Jonin had been very busy. Naruto had been hanging out with his family and his friends and told them a bit about his strength but kept a lot hidden. Minato, Kushina, Tsunade and Hiruzen knew that Naruto was hiding a great deal but didn't pressure him to talk since they too had secrets. Naruto even went on a few dates with Hinata, Satsuki and Ino, much to their great joy. Each girl enjoyed the dates that they had with Naruto, but they could tell that Naruto was hiding something from them. He did explain that he knew of two girls from far away and that he would see them again, but they told him that he could date other girls as well. But now Naruto was in front of the council of Konoha. He, along with everyone in the Chunin exams were here. "Thank you all for coming. It has been a trying time for Konoha as we get back on our feet due to the invasion. While it saddens me that we lost so many lives in the attack, we have dealt a striking blow to one of our greatest enemies with the death of Orochimaru," said Minato in the Hokage seat with Hiruzen and Tsunade beside him. Most of the council nod their heads at that. "But right now we are here to reveal those who have ranked up to Chunin in the exams," said Minato. The room became silent to hear what was going to be said. Now, Shikamaru Nara, Neji Hyuga, Temari and Gaara no Sabaku and Naruto Uzumaki Namikaze are the ones who will rank up to Chunin, said Minato with a smile on his face. Most of the council was shocked to hear that Naruto would rank up and tried to protest. "Silence. Minato has chosen these genin with my approval," said the fire daimyo. He then leans forward in his seat and glares at the civilian and elder council. "Does anyone wish to oppose my decision?" The civilians and elders wilted at the glare of the fire daimyo. No one wanted to speak out against him. "Now will each new Chunin please step forward to receive your Chunin vests," said Minato. Shikamaru, Neji, Temari and Gaara to obtain their vests. They put them on and walked back all the while Sasuke glared at them. When Minato noticed that Naruto had not moved he raised an eyebrow. "Naruto, please step forward and grab your vest," said Minato. The council room looked at Naruto and wondered why he didn't move forward. "I am sorry Hokage-sama, but I must decline," said Naruto. Everyone looked at Naruto with wide eyes and wondered why he would refuse the rank up. "Why Sachi? Why don't you want the rank?" asked Kushina. "Because I have other plans," said Naruto as he walked forward. When Naruto made it to the table he took off his headband belt and placed it and his license on the table. "As of this moment I resign from my duty as a Konoha shinobi," said Naruto. Minato, Kushina, Hiruzen, Tsunade and the clan heads all were shocked. While the civilians and the elders were happy that Naruto wasn't going to get anything. The fire daimyo was silent in all of this. "Why Naruto? Why did you quit?" asked Minato. "Do you truly need to ask father? With everything that happened to me in this village over the years, is it any wonder why I should continue to fight for people that would sooner spit on both your legacy and in my face? I am done fighting for people that would sooner kill me when I pass them in the streets and would expect me to protect them when they are in danger," said Naruto. "Then why become a shinobi in the first place? Why fight for them? Asked Hiruzen. Honestly. Because for a long time I had nothing else that I wanted to be. To become a shinobi like you, Gigi. But after the month between the exams a hard reality hit me. No matter how hard I would work, few of the civilians would give me the respect that I would get as a shinobi. Besides, I found something else to work hard for. Said Naruto. And what is that? Asked the fire daimyo. Naruto grins under his face mask. I plan on rebuilding Uzushio to its former glory and find my fellow Uzumaki kin out in the nations. I know that they are out there. Karen and Tei are proof of that. Said Naruto. This surprises everyone in the room. The civilians scream at Naruto that he can't do that since he is a civilian now and was under their control. That will never happen, brat. As a civilian you must listen to the civilian council. Said Kaharu. Yeah. And our first order is that you are never to leave Konoha ever again. Yelled Mibukki Haruno. But before Minato or anyone on the shinobi side could say anything, Naruto took out one of his guns and shot at Mibukki in the ear. She screamed in pain and held her bloody ear. She looked back in fear and anger. The only reason why I didn't kill you is because of your daughter Sakura. Know this, I am not under your control. I can leave this village anytime that I want since I am now a civilian. I can leave with or without your permission or from the permission of the Hokage. And should anyone try to stop me, well, you all know what happened to Orochimaru. Said Naruto with a deathly tone. Most of the civilians shivered in fear of Naruto. The fire daimyo raised his hand to make the room silent. Young Uzumaki Namikaze. Do you truly plan on rebuilding Uzushio? Asked the fire daimyo. Yes. I do. Said Naruto. The fire daimyo smiled. Very well then. I see no reason why you should remain here if that is what you wish. I only hope that you bring back the alliance that Fire and Whirlpool once had. Naruto smiled as well. Count on it, Daimyo-sama. But then Naruto left the room to begin packing for him to leave. The council meeting ended soon after with Kushina running after her son to find out everything that he planned to do. Namika's compound. Why didn't you tell me? Asked Kushina as she shook her son. Because I have to do this. If I told you then I knew that you wouldn't let me leave. That is why I didn't say anything until I handed in my headband to Toussaint. Said Naruto through the shaking. But why? Yelled Kushina as she tried to stop the tears from falling. She missed so much of her son's life because of Jiraiya and now he was going to leave her. I have to do this, Kasan. Uzushio needs to be brought back. The Uzumaki and others needed. Said Naruto. Kushina stopped shaking her son and held him close. But I just got you back. Please don't leave. Said Kushina. I'm sorry, Kasan. But I can't stay here anymore. Most of the people hate me despite that I am both your son and Toussaint's son. They hate me because I have the Kyuubi soul in me. That won't change how they see me no matter what I do. I know that if I want a true life it is outside of the village. Said Naruto. Kushina couldn't find anything to say against that since it was true. Most of the villagers hate Naruto with their very souls and nothing was going to change that. She wanted Naruto to stay in Konoha with her and his siblings, but she knew that he wouldn't be able to have a life in it. Not without his life being in danger every second that he remained in it. I'm sorry, Naruto-kun. We should have stayed. We should have found another way to protect you and your siblings from the Kyuubi's energy that was hurting each of you. I should have done more for you. Said Kushina through her tears. It will be okay, Kasan. I will help see Uzushio rise again and you will see your homeland in its glory once again. I promise. Said Naruto. You better. I am going to hold you to it. Said Kushina. Kushina let go of her son and smiled at him. Minato walked forward to speak with his son. Naruto, are you absolutely sure that you want to do this? Asked Minato. This isn't about want to, San. I need to do this. Uzushio is needed for the future. I know it. Said Naruto. Minato saw that look in Naruto's eyes that Kushina has that he knew that nothing would change his mind. Minato sighed and smiled back at his son. Minato then handed Naruto 3 scrolls. Then you will need these. In them is a copy of every jutsu in the Namikaze library. Use them to help you on your journey. Said Minato. Naruto took the scrolls and nods his head to his father. Thank you, Toussaint. I will make good use of them. Said Naruto. Afterwards Naruto packed up his things and told everyone that he was leaving. Hinata, Ino and Satsuki tried to convince him to stay but were unable to make him stay. He told them of his reasoning and they understood but told Naruto to stay alive for they would kill him if he died out in the world. Naruto chuckled at that and gave each girl a kiss on the lips to prove that he was going to be fine. Naruto would not be traveling alone. Kin, Karen and Taiya would be going with him on his journey to restore Uzushio to its glory. While Kushina, Tsunade and their children were sad that their fellow Uzumaki would be leaving, they understood that they wanted to see their home raise up once again. A day later Naruto, Kin, Karen and Taiya were a few miles out of Konoha and were walking towards Uzushio to begin their plans. So shithead. What is the plan right now? asked Taiya. Naruto chuckles at Taiya's speech. For now we head to Uzushio to find out the status of the island and bury the dead that are there. Then we start building it up from there, right? Asked Karen. Yes. But we can't do that alone. I can ask for help from Wave, we will need other people's help to build Uzushio up. Said Naruto. Then we will need to go out and find allies to help then. Said Kin. Yes. The good news is with the black book that I got from Danzo, I know places that need help that and can ask them for assistance once their problems are taken care of. Said Naruto. Good. The more help and resources the better. Said Karen. Agreed. Let's go girls. I want to get to Uzushio in 2 days. Said Naruto. Right. Said the girls. Just as the girls were about to move, Taiya had one last question. When are your girlfriends going to join us? Asked Taiya. Naruto smiles and chuckles. Soon Taiya-chan. Once we get to Uzushio on its feet a bit, I plan on going to where they are and bringing them here. Cool. Can't wait to meet them. Said Kin. Me too. Said Karen. Naruto smiles again and looks to the sky. An image of Yami and Hikari enter his mind. Yeah. I can't wait to see them again. Said Naruto. The group of teens head out to Uzushio to help start their new lives. With Orochimaru and Danzo dead, they have little to fear. Soon Uzushio would raise from the ashes and bring about a new power to the world. And once it is unleashed, few will be able to stand against it. The end. Thanks for watching, also remember to subscribe and like this video. See you in the next video.